So what was that? That was driving in England. What does that have to do with horses? You'll have to stay tuned in to find out. But we've got Smash Wraps, Pleasant Acres, and Big Sexy Stables here, so it can't be bad. Stay with us.
Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton from
Dancing,
England.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda, still in Ocala, Florida.
We have a great show lineup for you. We have some wonderful guests. We are going to talk to Helen Barbazon from Pleasant Acres about the thrill of a Florida bred making it across the pond to Royal Ascot.
Whoop, whoop.
We are going to talk about driving gypsy vanners and more with Candy G from Big Sexy Stables. And we're going to have Shane Godwin from Smash Wraps talking about wrapping for equestrians. And we've got our special tips of the week with Dr. Alberto Rilan from Equine Performance and Innovative Centre, Dancing Pete Rhoda, and of course Neil Hennessy from Ocala Dog Ranch. So we have a great lineup for the show, lots of fun. And I am going to actually start off with a not so fun topic, rather saddened, but want to talk a little bit about D. Wayne Lukas. He, Hall of Fame trainer, I think the only Hall of Fame horse trainer that is in the Hall of Fame for quarter horses and for thoroughbreds, and what an iconic legend and an incredible man who was in fact on his horse until just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, up at 3:30 in the morning every single day on his horse out on the track. And I did something this Derby. I've been in his barn so many times and I've chatted to him many times, but never actually had the nerve to ask him for an interview. And I walked into his barn at the Kentucky Derby, knocked on his door. He was in there with a couple of owners, and I said, and I'll actually never forget this, I said, "Would you mind doing an interview, sir?" And he looked at me and he said, "It's a good thing you've got a pretty smile, or I'd kick you out." And he invited us in and we had a chance to talk to him for a few minutes in his office with a couple of his owners from Texas, and he gave us a great interview. We talked about the Rice family. We talked specifically about Brian Rice and Woodside Ranch and the connection there. And it was just and I'm just now so glad that I did it, because it would have been my last opportunity. So a great man, an icon in the racing world, looked up to, got so many other amazing trainers started like Brad Cox and Todd Pletcher, and has been an absolute teacher literally to so many. I've fallen in love with every one of his pony horses. And Monday morning at Churchill Downs, Greg Blassie, who's the outrider, took D. Wayne's pony out on the track riderless with a pair of D. Wayne Lukas's boots facing backwards in the stirrups. So our hearts and prayers and deepest condolences go out to D. Wayne Lukas's family and everybody who loved him, and that's a lot of people. Many of us in the media got to know him and thought really highly of him. So we're going to brighten things up.
Very good.
Yes, we are going to talk a little bit about Tolwell Farm Riding Stables, which is the official riding stables in Devon to the Horse Talk Show.
Oh.
Really
I was
is.
like, I don't remember these stables, but okay.
No, it's our official riding place in Devon, and I'm going to tell you something. When Donna takes you out on that moor, on Dartmoor, it is.
Are these Dartmoor hill ponies or Dartmoor ponies?
No, I was actually on a cob.
Oh, you're on a cob?
Yeah, Oreo. Really nice horse, great horse. She is the best guide. She takes you out there on Dartmoor, which is just an absolutely incredible national park to go riding on, and it's beautiful. It's so peaceful and so quiet, and they're amazing. And Donna kept saying, "Do you want to go faster?" It's like, yeah, let's do it. But their horses, I'm going to tell you, of all the places I've ever been to and heard about that lease out horses. I don't think I've ever seen finer, healthier, better taken care of horses. And they're great. They're wonderful people. They have a variety of different size horses. They even have big enough horses for big, tall guys. And they've got everything they need in the office there that they lend you. If you need boots or if you need chaps, gloves, whatever you need, they've got it. So
rain jackets.
Yep. So if you went to England for a visit and you didn't bring boots with you, wellies, coats, chaps, whatever you need, riding helmets, they have all sizes, and they can get you completely kitted out.
Sounds like you had fun.
That was the best day, probably, honestly, of the whole trip. It was just amazing. It was a great experience. So check out Cholwell Stables on social media and make your appointment. Make sure if you're in Devon, that is your absolute go-to in Devon for a ride. You can go out for an hour or 2 hours or whatever you want, but really incredible experience.
Very good.
So some England funnies for you, since we want something to brighten us up. That is actually a real bridge that you just saw. That is actually a real bridge.
Not me.
You'd have to try to get your car across. And if someone's coming the other way, you have to back up. It's like literally that narrow. That's also in Devon, by the way. A roundabout. Does everybody know what a roundabout is?
Yes.
That can be an exciting adventure. A roundabout, getting off on the right exit.
Except for it's going the wrong way.
Well, you know, in England, we do drive on the left.
Yes, ma'am.
An interesting fact, actually, just to share with you, that the fast lane is actually the right lane in England. So all the fast traffic is moving on the right, and people there are very courteous, at least in the areas I was driving in, which is the Midlands, Warwickshire, and the south of England.
Or they knew American was driving. They were flashing the lights like, okay, go on.
Go on. Actually, I suggested to the rental car company that they have some kind of stickers or magnets they put on that says, please bear with me, I'm an American driver.
Right. I would be scared to drive on the wrong side of the road.
Well, you'll be surprised when you're on the other side of the car. It's easier than you think, because you're not on the same side of the car. If you're on the same side of the car, it would be a problem, but you're not. So it does actually make it a little bit easier. But I did find people there to be very courteous. And when you're in a merge lane and you're trying to get into the traffic lane, they do move over, which is very nice. They all move over and let you in.
Wow.
If you want to get in the fast lane or the slow lane, you put your turn signal on, they back off and flash the headlights and let you go. I mean, it's just a different culture. Getting back to driving here again was a little difficult, to say the least. Petrol, aka gasoline, is not sold by the gallon.
A liter.
Sold by the litre. That's right. So it's a little bit deceiving when you see £1.33 and you think, oh, that's cheap. That's a litre. But I will say this, cars go a really long way. Really a long way on a tank.
A gallon of
Yes, absolutely. And you cannot prepay at any of the pumps. Not in any of the pumps I went to. You actually pump your petrol and then you go in and pay.
They must not steal petrol in England.
No, apparently not. Because I did not find, in all the petrol stations I went to, I did not find a single one that you could actually prepay and put your card in. So, and yes, there are some very crazy, very, very narrow roads that only one car can actually fit.
And have bushes all the way to the top.
Yes, bushes, or in some cases walls. And yes, there are in fact signs that do
I
say...
just got nervous because the car went the wrong way, and I'm like, how am I supposed to go around you?
There are actual signs that say dual carriageway ahead. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Dual carriageway from back in the day. So driving fun in England. It's been a blast. It was hard to come back home. Stay with us. We are going to have Helen Barbizon with us from Pleasant Acres Stallions. Stay with us. Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Centre in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook. Facebook now. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires, and equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure you can achieve your vision for a safe and functional horse facility. For new builds, rewires, and updating, Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a farm of our own, we know you cannot take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital in Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Butt.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
We have a special guest here with us. We have Helen Barbizon from Pleasant Acre Stallions. She was actually with us over the Derby coverage, talking a little bit about famous connections to Marion County that make it to big races. And in this case, we're going to talk a little bit about one that made it across the pond, Lenny Lou. Helen, it's lovely to have you with us.
Nice to be here. Thank you
Tell
for
us a
having me.
little background of Pleasant Acres for anyone who hasn't seen you on the show before.
Well, we've been in operation since 1983, started as a small farm, and we started our stallion operation in 2014. We just continued to grow from 10 acres to 220 acres, so
Wow.
it's a big operation. We foal close to 100 babies every year, probably more than any other farm right now, because most of them are getting smaller. We've been the top breeders. We have accomplished breeding more than 3/4 of the mares in the state of Florida right now, and that's pretty.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's pretty good, seeing as we only started in 2014. But I think every year we try to bring better and better stallions to our operation. That's what our goal was to begin with. We want to kind of up the game as far as stallions in Florida, and I think we have accomplished that every year. We've got some remarkable stallions, some that are actually going to go to the Southern Hemisphere this year. We've got Verifying, who's a Justify, and we also have Simplification, who will be shuttling over to the Southern Hemisphere, and that's a big deal for stallions.
So what races are over there in the Southern Hemisphere?
The races,
They don't go to race. They go to make
they
more
go
babies.
to breed. However,
Thank you. I'll catch up in a second.
most of them are turf races, so it's that's where Treasure Beach ended up, and he's a Galileo who is turf, so he does very well over there. Here in the States, they like more speed, which is where Neolithic fits in, is where Leinster fits in, and a lot of the other stallions. But if they have a lot of turf pedigree, then they go there and they do very well. Now, Verifying obviously will come back, and Simplification will come back in December,
I remember
and
when
be ready.
Simplification ran in the Derby.
Yeah, and be ready for breeding next year. So
So you get double duty on them.
right. They'll be nonstop breeders, with only just a month or so off in between.
So you have loads of accolades you and Joe and the team there have absolutely loads. We could talk all day long on a list of all the famous horses that have made it to the top. But recently, I didn't know you were at Royal Ascot when I was at Royal Ascot, but I was very excited when I saw that a Florida bred that came from not very far from us right now made it across the pond to run against the top horses in the world.
Well, I think we were as shocked as anybody else, because if you would have told me 3 months ago I was going to London and watch a horse I bred run in the Royal Ascot, I would have said you're crazy. So it all came together so quickly, and it was so much fun. I mean, if I was going to take a trip, it would be for going to watch my horse race. And being as she ran third against some of the best horses on the planet, I think that was just icing on the cake. I mean, she really, and she's little. Yeah. She's not a big girl. No. She is a little feisty thing, but she's very smart. And, you know, we just love her. I mean, she's just the cutest thing, and I just can't believe she pulled it off. Really, I can't.
Do you remember her as a really young foal? Was she just to stand out?
Yeah, no, not really. No, she was always small, and we, you know, we sold her as a yearling, and she was small. She was nothing that I would have said, okay, she's going to be the next great. No, she wasn't, you know, but you just never know. Those are the things you don't know. And I, you know, we couldn't have done it without our employees and everybody that worked so hard for us to raise these great, great horses. And, you know, we have the Neo Equus that ran in the Derby. I mean, he's another one that ran so good. And Arthur's Ride. You know, it takes a lot to raise these horses, but you just never know which one is going to be that great one. Because Arthur's Ride, when he was young, he was just a gangly, leggy, kind of an awkward horse. And then when he grew up, it was amazing how he changed.
I've met him and Neo Equus.
So now we need to add Ocala bred or born. So that's the next thing we got to add to it.
A lot of them, you know, are born and raised, you know, here. Like you know, as far as Leinster goes, he had some of the top sales for Florida breds in this last sale. So they sold very well, and that's because he's getting speed, and people love that because of the sire stakes. Everybody wants to win the sire stakes, in Florida. So,
so what did you think of Ascot? You've been to lots of races in your life. What was the experience?
I love the track. I love the track.
I do too.
In America and the States, it's oval track. You go on and go in a circle. There, it was one big long stretch of a race, and it started way at one end, and it was just a straight run from one end to the other. And I really like that. It's easier on the horses.
It really is.
And it was a little hilly, which it was okay, but you know, it was all grass, so it was very nice, and
it's a lovely track.
Beautiful, beautiful track.
So it's like the quarter horses going just straight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They had 1 or 2 races with a little curve in it, but that was it. And all the horses went out by themselves. Not one horse had a pony.
I know. I noticed that last year too. I said, wow, they don't have to be ponied out.
Very well behaved.
Yes.
And they gallop all the way down to the gates, which is a long gallop to the stretch, you know, the stretch run. So it was really neat to see.
It's very different, and the number of horses in most of those races.
Huge fields.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, huge. I was like,
I mean, when we put 20 horses in the Derby, we're like, oh, that's the biggest field they're ever going to be in, and it really is. But some of those races had 25 horses.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's absolutely mind-boggling.
It is.
And what about the glitz and the glamour and the royals? Royals and
it was special. I mean, you know, everybody we didn't know it, but we didn't have to. Joe didn't have to wear a tux, but he did anyway, and he wanted to. He wanted to go and do the top hat and the tux, but you didn't have to. All you had to do was wear a suit, because where we were, you know, it was in a nice area. It was all air conditioned, and up above it was on 5 is where we were. And it was a beautiful place to sit. You could see everything perfectly, but we wanted to dress the part. We wanted to, you know, be with the rest. And so it was neat. The food was different. Everything about London is like backwards. Well, not a mean thing, but
yeah, everything from opposite. England is backwards. Yes, you can say it again.
It's the opposite of what is here. Just totally the roundabouts. I would have gotten into a million wrecks because the roundabouts were the opposite direction, and there was so many of them. People were going so fast.
I'm a better driver from I've been to England 3 times in the last 12 months, and I am a better driver than before I left for my first trip. I'm just going to tell you, because you have to be. I just went and did it. Twice I did it with a friend, with Betsy, and she was my navigator. My third trip was completely alone. And I have to be honest with you, I got in the rental car and prayed, because I did not have a navigator. And I was like, phone, you're going to get me around. I'm not looking at you. You can't look at anything. You can't even pick up a snack. No. You're like, you've got 6 speeds. You're in a manual shift car, and everybody is going super fast, and everything happens really quick. And if you miss an exit, you've got to go around the roundabout again. It's an adventure, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. The food was different, but we love seeing London, the Big Ben, Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace. I mean, everything
so glad
was.
You got to do all that.
It was just, it was awesome. You know,
Helen, I got to say congratulations to you and Joe. You are literally icons in the breeding world for thoroughbreds. You've done such an amazing job, and congratulations on Lenny Lou making it to Royal Ascot, and now she's a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup. So. You know where we'll be in November. We'll be cheering her on, won't we?
Hey, you'll both be there.
Of course.
That's right. We'll find each other there this time. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you.
Much.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back after this with Candy G with Big Sexy Stables. Stay with us. Equine Therapy International offers state-of-the-art equipment to enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength and rehabilitation with hand-picked and proven range of products, including PEMF and massage therapy rugs, leg wraps, boots, pads and lasers, equine water treadmills, cold salt water spas, combi floors, dry treadmills, solariums, nebulizers and more. For more information, go to equinetherapyint.com or find them on social media. Repair, perform and recover with Equine Therapy International.
DAC Vitamins and Minerals has been making a world of difference for 35 years. Do you know what sets DAC apart? We use chelation minerals from Alltech, which allows for better absorption. DAC is the only supplement company Alltech provides ingredients for. We have our nutritionist, Performance Horse Nutrition, NASP, which is the quality seal, which guarantees our products and ensures our use of quality ingredients. DAC gives you a guaranteed analysis in every 1 ounce scoop, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Doesn't your partner deserve the best? Visit feeddac.com.
At Florida HVAC Services, air conditioning is a mathematical process. There's no guessing in what size unit your home needs. Florida HVAC Services uses manual J-heat load calculations in diagnosing to guarantee your home is sized properly to control humidity and temperature, thus providing comfort all year round. With flat rate pricing, trained experts, and total peace of mind. For more information, go to flhvacservices.com. They are the air you breathe. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934, manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Hay. They are our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we have Candy G from Big Sexy Stables here with us. Candy, you look absolutely gorgeous.
Hi there. Thank you. I appreciate that.
If I could take that hat off you, I would. It's fantastic. I love that you came dressed as you do when you're driving.
Exactly. This is, we're going to talk about driving today, driving horses, and this is one of my jackets, and and hats that I drive in. I would say I probably have 35 to 40 hats.
So you and Louisa could exchange hats.
We actually could, yes, because
Yes.
Louisa's probably got about at least that many with my fascinators as well, I'm sure.
You know, and part of driving, part of the fun of it is being able to get dressed up and in period pieces, and you know, this is something that I would wear on a carriage. As a matter of fact, I'm right there on that photo right there, the same jacket and same hat. That just happened to happen.
That just happened to happen.
Exactly. And the only difference is I wear a lap robe or a driving apron, as you could see in the picture there.
So before we get more onto driving, which actually I was going to do tomorrow morning, but unfortunately I think we're getting rained out. But let's talk first of all about the breed of horse you choose to drive, because they have a wonderful background and yours are incredible.
They really do. I drive Gypsy Vanners, and they've only been in the country, I think this is the 28th year, and they're extraordinary. I mean, they're built to be driving horses. They have incredible endurance. I've done all types of driving with them. What we're watching here is a tandem, which is much harder to drive than a four-in-hand. I do drive four-in-hand. I currently am the only person in the country that drives 4 Gypsy Vanners. I'm not the first, but I'm currently the only one that drives 4. And there they are. There's all 4 of them.
So what made you choose Gypsy Vanners?
Well, it was interesting because I used to, many, many years ago, I've always been mad horse crazy, as most of us are. And I used to show saddlebreds. I was on the saddlebred circuit for 13 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And then when my daughter was born 32 years ago, I could no longer keep up with the riding and the shows and the circuit. And so I let the saddlebreds go and was raising my family, and didn't have any horses for 16 years. And
what?
Then I know.
How did you manage that?
I didn't. It was horrible. It was horrible. I had to put all the pictures of the horses away. Every time I'd look at them, I'd cry. And then my daughter went off to college when she was 16. And I'm like, well, I could do horses again. I've got lots more time. So I started looking at breeds because I didn't want to do crazy saddlebreds anymore, because not being in horses for 16 years, I didn't want to get hurt. And I found out about this breed, and I did a lot of research, and what I found is that they were just gentle and kind and easy to train, and so I went looking for one. And as a matter of fact, I brought along a magazine cover. This happens to be my first one. It's interesting how he came into my life, and a lot of people are going to look at this picture and say, and people have said to me before when I've shown them this picture and said, this is my horse, they go, it's not your horse. You took this picture off the internet. Because you would Google Gypsy Vanner, his picture would come up. And it was interesting.
Is that Big Sexy?
This is Big Sexy.
That's Big Sexy.
It's right on, you can see it. His name came to me with the barn name Big Sexy, and he was the model for our Big Sexy logo. And so, but what's interesting is a lot of people ask me, how did I start driving? You know, if you were a saddlebred person and you were riding these high performance horses, what got you into driving? Well, what's interesting, when he came into my life, and it was interesting because I was looking for a horse, and I was trying to figure out how to go about finding the best one, and didn't know really anything about anybody that had any Gypsy Vanners. And I was, I'm a speaker by profession, and I was out in Vegas doing a speaking event, and after the event, my husband and I decided to go to Lake Tahoe for a few days vacation. Anyway, he's a aviator, and he wanted to go look at airplanes one day, and I said, okay, well, tomorrow we're going to go look for a Gypsy Vanner farm. And so we went on the California side of Lake Tahoe, and we found a Gypsy Vanner for sale with a baby. It wasn't one that I wanted. I didn't want a broodmare and a baby. I wanted something I could start to do something with. And left that meeting with these folks, and then 10 days later I got a phone call, because somebody had talked to somebody who talked to somebody else who talked to this woman. And this woman called me up and said, I hear you're looking for a Gypsy Vanner. What are you looking for? I said, I don't want any show horses anymore. I said, I just want a lifetime equine family member. And this woman started crying like a baby on the phone. She said, "You're the person I've been praying for. He's so sensitive. He's too sensitive to go into a show barn. He needs somebody that just is his owner and that will love him and have him and want him." And so we made an agreement, and I ended up buying him from California. She shipped him to me from California, and he was just an absolutely extraordinary animal, but she never told me anything about his show history. So I Googled his name, and what happened is he was on the cover of magazines. He was winning everything everywhere. I knew nothing about his history, and then I came across him in a show driving. And so I said to my husband at the time, I said, "We have a driving horse." Now, I was living in South Florida. Nobody drove in South Florida. Everybody was all dressage and hunter jumpers. Right. And so, not having a clue, being clueless, I went online and I bought a 2-wheeled cart for $1,000.
Oh no.
This is a great story.
I bought harness. I got this box of plastic harness. Took me 4 hours to figure out where all the pieces went. And then I started ground driving him to feel the difference between being on his back and being on the ground. And then finally hooked him up and started driving him. Now, you know what can happen when somebody is inexperienced that gets in a carriage and doesn't know what they're doing.
Yes,
he
ma'am.
babysat me. He took care of me. He taught me how to drive and started getting a real passion for it. And now, 15,
I have
16.
a saying, you can't teach luck, and that's what happened.
I will tell you, I was so blessed. He just took care of me, and I unfortunately lost him in 2018. But he was an extraordinary teacher and a great friend, and we had that bond we all wish for in the horse world. So I went from my little 2-wheeled $1,000 cart to now I'm driving 4, and my passion now is collecting antique carriages.
So you got a lesson from the horse driving him.
Exactly. He taught me how to drive.
There you go.
And then I learned that there was a lot of things I didn't know, and so I started finding trainers, and I moved up from driving 1, doing combined driving events, and then I went from driving 1 to driving 2 in combined driving events. And then I started gathering more horses, and we went from 1 to, I currently have 11. They're not all Gypsy Vanners. I have 7 Gypsy Vanners, and then I have an assortment of others. But I do have 7 driving Gypsy Vanners.
Wow, what a great story. I've got so many more questions I want to ask you. That was the Winnie, so in just a few seconds we have to go to break, but I've got lots more to ask you. Before we go to break, I'm just going to comment on something you said. You mentioned about the horse taught you, and I'm going to quote D. Wayne Lucas very quickly, something he said. It's recently passed away, a great iconic man, said that the horses teach us. All we have to do is listen, and we learn from them, and from each one's different and individual, and we actually learn how to train the horse by listening to the horse. And it sounds like he taught you well. We're going to go to break. We're coming right back with Candy G, so stay with us. Grateful for the foundation of excellence laid over 40 years ago by their founders, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care continues to provide excellence in ambulatory and emergency care, surgery, internal medicine and sports medicine, with a lab and pharmacy, as well as the best in reproductive services at their Advanced Facility Center in Summerfield. For more information, find them at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires, and equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure you can achieve your vision for a safe and functional horse facility. For new builds, rewires, and updating, Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a farm of our own, we know you cannot take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to PatMyersElectric.com.
We're a unique, tough breed. We work long, hard hours making sure your horses are healthy and properly shod because, well, we farriers know horses perform better when they're properly shod and healthy. You want quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices, and you won't settle for anything less.
TT Distributors is dedicated to quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices. Racehorse or a pasture pony, TT Distributors has what you need. 7715 West Highway 40, Ocala.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934, manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
At Florida HVAC Services, air conditioning is a mathematical process. There's no guessing in what size unit your home needs. Florida HVAC Services uses manual J-heat load calculations in diagnosing to guarantee your home is sized properly to control humidity and temperature, thus providing comfort all year round. With flat rate pricing, trained experts, and total peace of mind. For more information, go to flhvacservices.com. They are the air you breathe.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. She's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
I'm Tick Maynard, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Hay, they're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Barton.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we have Candy G with us from Big Sexy Stables. We've been talking about her great story that she has of how she got her first Gypsy Vanna.
And you know, when I talk about how he taught me to drive, I do want to say, the disclaimer I want to say is, don't do what I did. Do not do it. It's too dangerous. Find a really good driving coach. Have him get you a really good driving carriage and do it the right way. I just lucked into it. Like Pete said, I lucked into it and luckily
Can't teach luck.
And did not get hurt. But now there's so many things that can go wrong. The thing to do.
So do not try this at home.
Do not do not do what I did.
Do not do it the Candy way.
That's right.
It did work out, but it
worked out
normally probably would not have. So yes, good, very good advice indeed. Yes. You mentioned you're a speaker, and your husband is an aviator. You have a beautiful place where he can fly planes right over the top of your horses.
And that's exactly what happens. I'll go driving up the runway and he'll come flying over with the airplane. We have a runway and 2 airplanes on the property in addition to the horses. And we also raise grass-fed cattle.
What kind of cattle?
Black Angus.
Do you? Oh, I didn't know that. See, I learned something new about you all the time. Yeah. It's like, what else are you doing in your spare time?
I'm the place to go to when you want to get your beef. I'm just letting you know.
Good to know. Excellent. Good to know, because I do buy all farm to table, organic and all that. So that's good to know. Tell us a little bit about the last couple of weeks, because I know you went away. You had a very, very exciting competition.
It actually wasn't a competition, but they're very fun. I'm a member of something called the Four in Hand Club. And so it's been around 25 years, and people that own 4 in hands get together in beautiful places around the country and do drives. And we did a 4 in hand drive in Elkin, Maryland, in Fairhill, Maryland. It's a 5,000-acre preserve that was donated to the state of Maryland by the DuPont family, and it's all set up for equestrian things. And there's covered bridges and creeks and beautiful, it's just amazing, beautiful scenery to drive through. And so this group of folks were all part of this club, and we get together at different times during the year and go to different places. And I just went to Fairhill, Maryland. I actually, for this drive, I only took 2, but normally would take the 4. But I had a new truck and a new trailer, so we wanted to try it out with.
So tell us a little about that adventure, the drive.
You know, it's amazing because, like I said, you don't know what you've never been there, so you don't know what you're going to expect. You don't know what you're going to see. You don't know what kind of wildlife you're going to see. Like, there were so many bridges, and like I said, and covered bridges and beautiful scenery. That was an absolute grand adventure. The other grand adventure was it was a brand new truck and trailer, and the truck was bought a month before by accident.
By accident?
We had gone we had gone on another four-in-hand drive, but we didn't take our horses. We were invited to be on somebody else's carriage, but there was no room for my husband on the carriage, so I went on the first drive. Second day, it was our wedding anniversary. So I said, I'm not going to go on the drive. I'm going to explore. We were in North Carolina, and where were we? Southern Pines, North Carolina. I said, we're going to explore Southern Pines for the day. And we ended up at a dealership, and we just bought a brand new horse trailer. Well, and as it turned out, they had this pre-owned truck that was their Monster Series. You can't get it any better. And it had only 14 miles on it, but it was pre-owned, so they couldn't sell it as a new truck. And it was absolutely beyond what you would want in a vehicle. It was amazing. There was no way we couldn't buy it. So
it was an anniversary present. Way to spend the day sightseeing and leaving the truck.
And when we went home, we had an anniversary dinner in the bed of the truck on the runway at sunset at our ranch. And we had champagne and caviar and all of this wonderful stuff in the back of the truck.
That's so fun.
It's so fun. And the truck's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That's a great story.
Wow.
Everything's an adventure.
It is. So when it comes to driving, do you prefer the four-in-hand the most? Is that what you enjoy the most?
To tell you the truth, I love it all. I love doing the four-in-hand. I love doing the tandem because it's harder than the four-in-hand, and it's very different because
Why is the tandem harder?
Because you've got one horse in front of the other, and the only thing that's holding them on is two pieces of leather. You've got two traces, that's it. There's no pole in between, there's no leader bars, there's just the leather. So the horse up front, if it decides it wants to come back this way, it can come back this way. So you have to have your horses well trained. They have to know how to listen to you, and you have to know how to talk to them.
Wow.
Incredible. So the four-in-hand is a more recent thing, and you're the only person driving four-in.
I am currently the only person in the country driving a four-in-hand of Gypsy Vanners. I'm not the first, but there was someone else that drove a four-in-hand, and he stopped doing that. Unfortunately, we lost him this past year.
Oh.
Yeah, but so I don't do a lot of breed shows because I have no competition. So I
should do a lot of breed shows and win.
So, but I go to our next big show is going to be in Wisconsin. We're going to take a 3-day drive out to Wisconsin and do Villa Louis, which is one of the biggest pleasure shows and the nicest pleasure shows. That's why we're taking. It's going to be a 3-day drive out, a 3-day drive back, and probably 5 or 6 days out there.
Incredible.
Wow.
So in our next segment, we have a special guest here in the studio with us. We have Shane from Smash Wraps. So unfortunately, I'm saving the B-roll, as we call it, for the next segment of your trailer. And
he's done an extraordinary job, yes, which I love Shane and Smash Wraps. And he has wrapped my carriage trailer, and he will next wrap my new truck, my new horse trailer, and 2 trucks. He's got a lot of work to do.
He's got a lot of work to do for you.
Yeah, which I'm super happy about.
We got to do a shout out though, because that's he's going to be on next, and I wanted you to share that you as an equestrian have had the experience. So
a great company, great work, and my husband is very particular, and he was going over all the lines on the truck like this, going.
It's pretty impressive.
How do you do?
I know. I've watched them do it, and I go,
goes, what a fabulous job he did. Yeah, he did. So
I know, it's mind-boggling to me. I look at it and go, I
well, your truck, I forgot it was blue, so thought it was white.
I know, you're right. Big change.
So Shane and Smash Wraps, they have my
great endorsement. Wonderful.
Big Sexy approved.
Yes. How's that make Shane feel? Pretty good, right? So last question, because then we have to wrap it up. What's on your bucket list for your achieving all your goals and adventures? And
well, what's interesting about that is I have a 5-year-old that I have raised. I was originally going to sell him as a legacy stallion because he has got all of the foundation of the finer Gypsy Vanners. I instead decided to keep him I've gelded him. I've pulled semen, so we'll make some babies. But he is now a carriage horse, and we've started him. And David is blown away because I did 3 days of groundwork. I said, David, come over. Let me show you what I'm doing. And he was watching what we were doing. He says he's ready for the carriage. Slapped him right on the carriage, and so that's very exciting for me because I brought him up, I raised him. And he's remarkable. He's just a remarkable carriage.
That's so exciting.
So we'll go from a 4 in hand, who knows, maybe we'll get to a 6.
Oh, wow. Big goals.
But we're doing more traveling. That's what's on the bucket list, is getting them out there, getting people to see the Gypsy Vanners. Because a lot of people don't know who Gypsy Vanners are. So just getting more Gypsy Vanners out there. So
I love them. I think they're an incredible breed. We have to wrap up and go to break. I got to not forget to give you your gift bag full of your piranha goodies and your Horse Talk Show dandy brush.
And we'll see you back.
Thank you, Candy G. We'll be right back with Shane. Stay with us.
Thank you.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs. EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
We're a unique, tough breed. We work long, hard hours making sure your horses are healthy and properly shod because, well, we farriers know horses perform better when they're properly shod and healthy. You want quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices, and you won't settle for anything less.
TT Distributors is dedicated to quality horse products, supplements, and farrier supplies at affordable prices. Racehorse or a pasture pony, TT Distributors has what you need. 7715 West Highway 40, Ocala.
Cut through the noise and distinguish your business with a custom vehicle wrap from Smash Wraps. Get noticed with eye-catching vehicle wraps that showcase your brand's identity and earn you more business. If you're looking for a custom-designed vinyl wrap for horse trailers, box trucks, cars, or pickup trucks, for a single fleet vehicle, or for 100, no job is too big for the Smash Wraps team. Make your appointment to set your business apart today. Find us on social media or at smashwraps.com. And remember, don't just wrap it, smash wrap it.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars. And we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
Equine Therapy International offers state-of-the-art equipment to enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with hand-picked and proven range of products, including PEMF and massage therapy rugs, leg wraps, boots, pads, and lasers, equine water treadmills, cold saltwater spas, combi floors, dry treadmills, solariums, nebulizers, and more. For more information, go to equinetherapyint.com or find them on social media. Repair, perform, and recover with Equine Therapy International.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms. They're our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Butt.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And we have got...
Smash Wrap!
He was dying to say that.
That's a great entrance.
I know, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We have
4th of July weekend, no fireworks going on
That's
behind me. Maybe we got some of those special effects.
We don't want fireworks around horses ever, do we?
Cool. No, probably not.
No. Shane, tell us a bit about you. You're the rapping guy. We thought you were going to rap.
Well, it's WRAP, yeah, so we got to get that clear first. I was super nervous, by the way, too, coming here with like tennis shoes on, but Dancing Pete made me feel very comfortable in his own tennis shoes. I felt like, I'm safe. This guy doesn't have boots on.
I know. All you need to do is bring Larson Hay in with you like he does, and that's it. That's all
100%. So happy to be here. Of course, we did a wonderful truck for you for the Horse Talk Show, which is one of my favorite projects that we've done. if you've seen it around town. Oh, there it is.
There it is. It looks
Yeah.
by Larson Hay. How appropriate is that?
By Larson
That works,
Hay.
right?
Yeah, which is another one of our favorite projects that we've done, and it's ongoing projects with Mr. Larson and his family.
He's wonderful, isn't he?
He is. The whole team over there is incredible. I know. So that's been fun, and really just all the relationships that we've gained after being a part of the Horse Talk Show, and of course you, and yeah.
So you've been rapping for a bit.
Yeah, we've been. I've personally been in the business for about 12 years now.
Same as me. Same as the Horse Talk Show. Look at that.
There you go.
Yeah, so a lot of commercial and private projects, and recently now, we're starting to get into the larger semi-trailers and things like you'll see with Larson Hay, as well as Seminole Feed, and then just a ton of horse trailers that we've been doing as of late, which that community is just incredible and blessed to be in, the horse capital of the world here in Ocala. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So
and wrapping buildings, I mean, that's big.
It is. It's huge, yeah. And and of course we're talking about Larson Hay, but to have to work with that family and really kind of paint the picture of what they've built and be a part of that is it's really rewarding. So
how'd you get into buildings? I mean, you go from wrapping vehicles.
Yeah.
Well, we've already decided you can wrap anything pretty much except a saddle. Right?
Except the saddle. So.
Megan, if you're watching,
yeah,
we are not giving up yet.
No,
we're almost
out. I feel like we're going to be really busy if we do that. But yeah, buildings is just another challenge. Just like anything else, you start doing bigger and bigger projects and realize that, hey, if I can wrap a 58-foot semi-trailer, then we can wrap a 100 by 20-foot side of a building. And then that's just kind of how it rolls into that process.
So if I was a customer that came to you and said, hey, I want my logo, what would be the process? Like, what would you say to me? Like, if I had a vision, would you give me just what I want, or would you show me other things that you could do?
Yeah, so it's, communicating with you on important things, what you feel, what you'd like to see in the design, and then us kind of taking it, hopefully to exceed your expectations. That's one of the biggest challenges for our customers is we have people that don't really credit themselves in being very, gifted as far as design goes, but actually when they can articulate what they're looking at, it's such a big benefit to have that to work with back and forth. What I kind of find is what we start with, and then with the customer's help on what their view and vision is and our talent, it really does combine this, work of art, and a logo is everything for me. I think a logo is the most important thing that you can have for your brand, because that's going to be your brand, recognition for the life of your business, and as long as you own it. So it's huge to start there.
And not just wrap signs, so you can do farm signs, you can do all of that, right? So
Yeah.
it's not just wraps, it's signs and everything else.
It
right?
is. It's sides of buildings. It's it's trailers, and we picked up a handful of nationwide customers as well. It's even if you're out of the state of Florida, we can help you. So.
Because I know when Louisa kept on sending me your ideas of how you were going to do the Horse Talk Show truck.
Yeah.
And then it became what it was, and it was 10 times better than what we expected.
Yeah, it's an evolutionary process for sure, and like I said, it's a group thing. So being able to bounce ideas off of each other, and a lot of times the clients will bring up things to us that we may not have thought about, and it really kind of takes it to that next step. It's fun.
It's really impressive watching them. I've been in the shop there and actually watched them, wrapping, and I look at it because for me, that's not something I could do. I would be so freaked out by all that stickiness and all that going on and something going wrong. But when I see the meticulous lines and the way that they can, like you said, you even forgot my truck used to be blue, right? Because you thought, it's amazing, really, to see the work done.
I was there when I dropped the truck off and then took you to get your car, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible watching them at work. They're incredible. It must be hard to find people that can do that, or do you find people and train them to do that?
So it's more that we find people that are very qualified in what they do. We're kind of at that leg of the business to where we need to have very experienced people, even people that are better in certain departments that we're not, so we can kind of grow and evolve. Our newest hire has extreme experience in wrapping planes and aviation decals and things like that.
We just got to get Handy G to wrap a plane then.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Big, sexy, stable plane.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I just think it's incredible. And I'll tell you, having done this show for 12 years, You know, we started out predominantly the first couple of years being almost entirely radio before we went to podcasts, Facebook, TV, and all the other things. And we have an audience for 12 years of people who consistently listen rather than watch every Saturday morning, and they have for years, and that continues to grow. The Sky and Odyssey.com is big, and it's probably the biggest talk station in North Central Florida. And I have people come up to me all the time ever since I got my truck wrapped and say, we always listen. It's so nice to meet you in person. And I have that all the time in parking lots of places when I'm out and about. So it's really, when it says it's a driving billboard, it's not just a driving billboard on the road. In the parking lot it's sitting in, when you're in the grocery store, you're advertising while your vehicle is just sitting there. You're advertising. And I mean, I sell advertising on our show, right? Honestly, I think it outdoes that, because it's literally, it's everywhere. You know, I think we just had, if you're watching, I think we just had Candy's up.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Yeah, Playing with Magic. So if you're watching, if you can get to Facebook or Equus TV, you can see Playing with Magic, Big Sexy Stables, Gypsy Vannas. I love it. It looks fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very nice to see that, you know, Candy and her husband both feel the same way about it. It turned out really nice, and his attention to detail, and that's important to us. That's why we're happy to be in the equestrian world. We want a customer that really does value a premium product, because that's what we deliver. So it's always nice to hear those things. So, and then to be able to grow and evolve with them as they, you know, increase their business and add more trailers and trucks. And
I love that. I just wish they were wrapping Chevys, but hey, you know, you can't have everything.
You're a Chevy girl, right? Yeah.
I'm a Chevy girl.
I'm sorry.
I'm a Palm Chevy girl. Can't help it. Yeah. All the way. But you know what? You can't have everything. So I'll say at least it's got a smash wrap on it, so that's good.
At least, yeah. It's a beautiful truck now.
So on your list, what would you like to accomplish? Wrapping more for equestrians?
Wrap some stuff in England for sure now. I want to go after we're talking about this challenge of driving.
You just don't know if you want to drive.
Yeah, I just want to maybe have a helmet on and a mouthpiece when I go, but I want to go hit that roundabout. It sounds fun.
So it really is, I'll tell you.
Manual speed, I haven't, that was my first truck, and it's like I got into these automatic
Except for it would be the other hand.
It would be, yeah, now that threw me through a loop. Although it made sense to me when you said if you're naturally, when you're on the other side,
yes, you don't feel
it makes it easier.
That's right.
So I'm thinking, I'm trying to wrap my head around
and the
that.
pedals are backwards too.
Yeah.
So.
It's all weird. It took me a long time to get figured out when I got back here what side of the road I was supposed to be on. We got to wrap it up.
Perfect. WRAP.
Yeah, wrap it up with Shane from Smash Up. I know Isaac's over there smiling. Yeah. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars. And we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.
Love presents itself in so many ways. It can be difficult to describe the bond between human and horse because it really transcends words. As we prepare for each ride, the most important thing in our mind is our horse's health and safety. Are we playing our part in this remarkable relationship? We want to go to sleep every night knowing that we did everything in our power to preserve this special bond. Piranha Animal Health, for the love of the horse.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
Equine Therapy International offers state-of-the-art equipment to enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength and rehabilitation with hand-picked and proven range of products, including PEMF and massage therapy rugs, leg wraps, boots, pads and lasers, equine water treadmills, cold saltwater spas, combi floors, dry treadmills, solariums, nebulizers and more. For more information, go to equinetherapyint.com or find them on social media. Repair, perform and recover with Equine Therapy International. Ocala Dog Ranch offers a variety of services for your dog.
including agility training, barn hunt training, board and train, boarding long and short term, daycare, day training, dock diving training and competitions, disc dog, swimming lessons and pool rentals, lure coursing, and obedience training classes. Check out Ocala Dog Ranch at ocaladogranch.com. Ocala Dog Ranch is your home away from home for your dog and more. The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now.
Hello, I'm Chris Cox, and you're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
I'm Louisa Bond.
I'm Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And I don't know about you, but it's been a fun show.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it has indeed.
It's been sexy. And it's been a smash, and we've been rapping.
I know. That's right. We've had a good time, haven't we?
And it's been pleasant.
You've got a tip.
I got a tip.
Dancing Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by
that logo going off.
This tip is sponsored by WildlifeWorksLLC.com for your unwanted wild critters removal.
Fireworks. So 4th of July is coming up.
Don't do them.
So the tip of the week is go talk to your neighbors if you have horses and ask them to shoot it where your horses are not going to be. Put your horses up, let them know, hey, what time are you going to be doing it so I can put the horses in a safe place. And be the nice neighbor. Don't be the one that starts complaining when the fireworks go off. Go and be proactive and get your horses in the right place and your neighbors in the right place so that you don't have an accident. And take your fly masks off.
It's almost a coincidence, but we've got something that says something a bit like that.
Wow.
It's almost like you read it.
No, I didn't.
And, hey, I'm just going to say, before we get on to any kind of dog topics, I'm just going to say that this really does apply to dogs as well. Not necessarily with the some of the horse things you mentioned, but just with the overall fear that dogs often have about. I had a dog that was absolutely terrified, used to go and hide in the shower when fireworks went off. So, you know, think of all four-leggeds in this perspective, not necessarily just horses. And then there are other people out there too that have PTSD, some of our veterans, bless them, as well. So just think about where you are, the environment that you're in. Be aware of your area and what you're around.
Play a lot of music.
Yeah,
and we've had storms.
Music is fantastic.
So a lot of these booms, the four-legged animals are going to think, oh, it's just the lightning.
Music is great for horses and dogs. Some people do recommend stabling if there's a lot going off around your farm, if you're afraid that a horse is going to run through a fence, leaving lights on, which lessens the flashes. And you know, you can always talk to your veterinarian about any kind of calming possible sedatives or anything that might be safe for your horse or your dog if needed. So CBD is a great product for dogs and horses for calming. Of course, we have a wonderful sponsor on the show.
And I learned last year, take your fly mask off. I don't know for sure that's what happened, but I think they had the fly mask, and so the bright lights came over the fly mask and they couldn't see as well, and then there's a big flash.
Yep. So. And since we're talking about horses, and if you own a horse, you probably have at least one dog. We're going to go ahead and go over and listen to, probably Neil's going to say similar things about dogs and fireworks. The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Hi there, it's Neil Hennessy, the Ocala Dog Ranch. Great time of the year except for the fireworks. Most animals don't like fireworks, and this is a high busy time for shelters and rescues because dogs get spooked because of the fireworks and they run away. So don't leave your dog outside unattended in the yard when there's fireworks about, and if you have to take them out on a leash. That way if you get surprised by fireworks, they don't bolt and run away, and then you have to start looking for them. Fireworks, great. The dogs don't think it's so great. Neil Hennessy.
So we're not trying to ruin your fun on July 4th.
We're just trying to save us vet bills.
Yes, exactly. And just really asking you to be aware and be kind and remember who's around you, and just think about it if you're in the middle of a horse farm area.
And if you're not a horse person, please understand that we're not trying to be mean, but if you had something that you cared about and we were doing stuff that accidentally did something to them, then you would feel the same way.
And we know that's really important for you to celebrate your independence from the British.
Yes, it is.
We're not trying to take that away from you. Not at all. We're going to switch it up now to Dr. Alberto Rulan. Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show with Dr. Alberto Rulan from the Equine Performance and Innovative Center, and he has your equine rehab tip of the week.
What I want to tell you today for this week is that horses need to move. Horses have to move, whether it's in the pool or on the water treadmill. Doesn't matter how bad that horse is. If it doesn't have a fracture or if it doesn't have a broken tendon, the horse needs to move.
Moving, very important. Horses need to move. There you go. We have got some events and announcements that we need to remind you about. First of all,
Happy 4th of July.
That's right, it's this weekend, so celebrating independence from the Brits.
Yay! No more taxes. Oh, never mind.
Oh, very funny. Yes, not throwing my tea away. Art to the Rescues. That's in November, but you know what? It's just around the corner. It's flying by this year. I can't believe we're over halfway. So Saturday, November 8th, we were talking about Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch. I need to say thank you very much to him because I could not have been in England if he was not able to take care of my dogs for me.
So your dogs are home and miserable now?
No.
Because they're not at Dog Ranch?
Yeah, probably. They probably would like to go back to the places they stayed because they enjoyed themselves. Art to the Rescues, November 8th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is a fantastic event at Ocala Dog Ranch on Southwest 110th Avenue, supporting rescue raffles where dogs will dive for prizes, local artists, fine crafts, vendors, live food, and live food. No, not live food. I said that last week, remember? I was like, we're having lobsters. Live music and food. Lots of local rescues will be there so you can meet and adopt your very next fur baby. Get that on your calendar.
You're not allowed to go. Jenna Carousel reading with horses at the Marion Theater.
Every week on Thursdays.
At 2 p.m.
Yep. Reading with horses. Meet the horse that is in the book.
And we're going to have jobs in the horse world. So Louisa and I have talked for this, for the show.
It's fantastic. And it's at the Marion Theatre this year instead of outside. So you don't even have to be sweaty. You can enjoy the inside of the iconic Marion Theatre. And 2 o'clock every Thursday through, I think, July the 10th is the last one. So it's free for all ages. Make sure you bring kids along who would like to be encouraged, of course, in literacy and then actually get to meet the horse that's in the book.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Summer camp is going on at Royal Blessing Rescue.
July 7th through the 11th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yep, this is a fantastic rescue. If you are looking for a 501c3 that you would like to donate to, they have recently taken in quite a lot of rescues that have needed some very specialized veterinary care, and all of that is very expensive. So if you're looking for that 501c3 you'd like to bless, Royal Blessing Rescue would be a great place.
Piranha, the Foundation Golf Tournament is back November 14th, 2025 at the Country Club of Ocala.
Yep, and this is a great opportunity to either be a sponsor, to get involved, have a team yourself,
or just come out and have a good time.
Have a good time. This is the golf game plus the gala in the evening, and it is a wonderful opportunity to get your name out there. If you'd like to get well known in the horse world, it also goes to 3 wonderful 501c3s that benefit from this, and each year they have been able to give them over $30,000. They've raised over $90,000, and this will be the 4th year. So if you can support this, get involved, sponsor, sign up a team, that would be fantastic. Piranha Animal Health are a wonderful company that do great things in our community.
We're done.
I think we're close. I'm going to thank Shane very much from Smash Raps for being here. We've had some absolutely wonderful guests on the show this week. I'm almost happy to be back from England.
She's back.
But still a little homesick. So I had a great trip. I want to thank Dancing Pete Roda and also Megan last week for stepping in for me and doing such a phenomenal job with the show. Thank the team here for helping me be gone and everybody that made it possible, and at Royal Blessing Rescue, and of course Neil and Chuck for taking care of my dogs, because otherwise I couldn't go. So I'm rested up and happy to be home.
Yay.
Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world, or not, happy horsing around. Till next time.
At Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, our customers say it best.
Oh, the prices were great. They were actually unbeatable.
Thanks, Miss Delara. At Palm Chevy, we do our best to give you our best price and payment without the games. And our entire team is committed to making your experience in sales or service pleasant and hassle-free.
It's been a pleasure doing business around here.
Thanks, Mr. Hars, and we think you'll agree. Visit us today at Palm Chevrolet, Southwest College Road in Ocala, or at palmchevrolet.com. Find new roads.